Hey everyone, it's Jessie. I have a few things that I want to share with you today. My progress on the knit shawl, a new project I started, which is a crochet shawl. I do have a life update that I'll be sharing a little bit later in the video if you're interested. And then towards the end of the video, I'll be sharing some ideas on some next projects that I'm thinking about. Okay, so we'll get started on the knit shawl, which I have right here. If you've watched some of my previous videos, I talked about how I was struggling when I started this thing. I had ripped the whole thing out and started over. I can't even count how many times. It brought me to tears, let's just say. I almost gave up, and then I told myself, nope, I'm not going to give up. I am going to get this whether I like it or not. I'm going to keep on trying, and I am so glad that I did. And even though I had made so many mistakes, especially in the beginning, I learned so much from it. I'm actually very thankful I made those mistakes, believe it or not, and I ripped it out over and over because I learned a lot about knitting. I learned how to fix some of my mistakes, and now I even know how to check each row to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. And then when I notice a mistake, I can go back and correct it right away. So it's been a great learning experience. So I can't wait to show you. I guess I think the last time I shared it with you guys, I think I had just started with the yellow, or maybe I was still on the blue. But anyway, this is what I have gotten done so far. So it transitions into the yellow here, like this gold, pretty gold color. I just love that. My favorite, of course, is the blue color. And then it transitions over to a gray, which I'm starting now. I have a ways to go. It'll be as long as this blue section. Now, one thing that I didn't realize until I started knitting this project. As you can see, the blue and the gold or yellow color has a really nice contrast. Like, it just stands out. It is so easy to see, and I just love it. Then when you get to the yellow gold color and the gray, there's really not much contrast at all. So as you can see, it just kind of blends in more. There's just not much contrast. And I never thought of that when I was choosing my colors for this project. And I didn't think of it when I thought of the order of the colors, because I was thinking maybe I should have had the gray in the middle. However, even if I did that, the gray and the blue probably wouldn't have had much contrast. Either way, I'm still loving how it turned out, even though there's not much contrast over here. I almost wish I had blue on this side too, because it would have been just gorgeous, but that's okay. That's the colors I have, and I am learning, and I absolutely, absolutely love this shawl. I did not think that I could ever knit something that looked like this. I am just in shock. Sometimes I have to take a step back and look at it, and I'm like, am I actually making something like this? It's just so, I don't know, I find it so beautiful, and I'm just gonna treasure this. So I don't know if you can see, it might be hard to see the pattern in this, but it's got this really, really nice pattern. And then on the back side, I think it looks even good on the back side. So even though this started off with me not liking it because I kept making so many mistakes, I absolutely love it now. It is just turning out so pretty, and it's so relaxing to me now. I am following a pattern. I have to always make sure that I'm on the row that I need to be on. But as long as I do that, I mean, I just can knit this and relax, and I really love it. The sad thing is that I am on the, like I said, I'm on the gray color now, and I know that there's really not a whole lot left before I'm finished with the project, and that's a little sad to me because I really loved this one. However, I'm pretty certain that I'm going to be making this shawl again one day just because I loved it that much. And after I'm done knitting this, I do have to tie in on my ends, of course, and then I have to block it. that is going to be interesting. I have some blocking mats, but I don't know that I have enough to block this entire thing, but we will find out when that time comes. Okay, so on to the crochet shawl. Yes, I'm making a lot of shawls. I absolutely love shawls. I don't wear them all the time. I do sometimes in the house if I'm really cold, but I just love them. So if you've been watching my videos, you knew I was trying to search for the right crochet project to make next. I was gonna make the Bag O' Day shawl, the crochet along. It's a beautiful shawl that she made, but I decided I'm going to wait on that right now because I can't find, I want a yarn that just kind of sticks out to me and I'm like, that's the one, and nothing's really jumped out to me. Plus I've got a lot going on right now, which I will address a little bit later, and it's got a lot of complicated stitches, or I shouldn't say complicated, I don't really know. They're just stitches that I've never worked before, and I know that it'll take a lot of time. And so I wanted a crochet shawl that I could just, you know, just work on without thinking too much, without giving it much thought. Just something that I could relax and enjoy, especially at a busy time like now. The shawl is called Indigo Blush Shawl by Flux. The yarn that I'm using, which some is gone now, is a self-striping cotton mill end from Hirschner's. And I am just using 1 cake of it, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's turning out really pretty so far. And what I love about this is all it is double crochets the entire shawl. Pretty easy, not so bad. I don't have to do a whole lot of thinking. It's very nice. So if you're looking to make a shawl or something to whip up, or maybe you've never made a triangular shawl before and you want something that's pretty easy your first time around, I would suggest this one. It's pretty simple. She walks you through how to do it, and I'm gonna link her video in the description below if you want to check it out. I love it, and I am so in love with these cotton mill ends from Hirschner's. I love how they transition slowly into the next color. It's just so beautiful. So it started off with a really light pretty pink, and it got a little darker, and now it's into the purples, and it's going to keep going darker into the purples and then into a really nice gray. So I think that's going to turn out really beautiful. It's going to be similar looking to the shawl I made recently by Bag O' Day, the Butterfly Effect shawl, which I absolutely love, and I was thinking of making that again. I will make it again, just I'll wait a while before I do that. But it's similar looking to that, only this does not have the texture that that shawl does. So the next thing, before I get into some of the projects I'm thinking of working on next, I am going to share a life update. My husband and I have been in the process of moving, so you can just imagine how busy things have been around here. So the last month or two, we've actually been working on packing, going through all our things, packing things up, getting things ready for yard sales, which we haven't done yet, and then listing our house, putting it up on the market. And last Friday, we had an accepted offer on our house. So things have been kind of moving quickly. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I live in Wisconsin. I've actually lived in Wisconsin my entire life. We are actually going to be moving to a different state. So it is kind of a big deal for me. I am excited, I am nervous, kind of sad. It's just a lot of mixed emotions. Now, where are we moving to? If all goes well, we are going to be moving to South Carolina. We've talked about moving to South Carolina like for years, and we just never did. And earlier this year, we went to go visit our son, who's in the Navy, who's in South Carolina currently. And we loved it. And I've been to South Carolina in the past, and I've always loved it. And when we came back, we're like, you know what? Why don't we look into this? Maybe we could do it now. So anyway, one thing led to another. We started looking into it all. And before you knew it, we had made a decision to move to South Carolina. Now, like I mentioned, my son is in the Navy down there currently. However, the end of August, he will most likely be stationed somewhere else. So that is kind of a sad thing. We're hoping it won't be too far from where we're going to be moving, but we don't know. And I do know one thing. He told us he does not want to move back to Wisconsin. So I know he won't be here. So wherever he ends up, even after the Navy, he does know he wants to be down south somewhere. So we should be closer to him. And I will be happy about that. The sad thing is we'll be further away from my brothers, their wives, and my nieces and nephews. Now that's going to be a tough one for me. So I am still struggling with that. However, we do not like the Wisconsin cold. Now, we were lucky this last winter to have a pretty decent winter. It wasn't that cold, not as cold as usual, and it was actually like in the 50s in December, which is unheard of around here. However, most of the time it's not like that. It is really cold, and we do not like the cold, and we're looking forward to warmer weather. So even though we are in the middle of moving and things have been quite busy, I've still been trying to find time to work on my projects, and I'll continue to try and work some time in there for both knitting and crochet. And then once we move and we get settled in, I'm hoping to come up with some more content for you guys and to post videos more often. All right, so next project ideas. When I'm done with these two projects, what will I be working on next? I've been trying to think ahead of time and figure that out. One of the things I had in mind was the Bora Sleeveless Crochet Cardigan by MJ's Off the Hook Designs. It's just a beautiful cardigan. I'm going to try and insert a picture here so you know what I'm talking about. It is so pretty, and even the color, she used the color green, and for some reason I just love that color of green. So when I saw that, I thought maybe I should make that. Recently I got some clearance yarn at Hobby Lobby, and I found some yarn that I had thought about using, but then I'll link that video here if you haven't seen that. But then I was looking at it, and it looks like MJ or Michelle at MJ's Off the Hook Designs used a much finer weight yarn than what that is. So I'm not quite sure if that's going to work. So I got to look into that more. Another thing that I thought about making is the Verona tee by HanJan Crochet. Now this is another beautiful top. It's not a cardigan, but it's like it's a tee, and I'm going to insert a picture for you to see that too. And it's like a filet crochet top, but it's really cute. And that also, she did that one in green. It's very pretty. So those are two tops I was thinking about making if I can find the right yarn. I'm hoping I have something in my stash. I'll have to check that out. Now another thing I thought of making is the Crochet Lacy Poncho by HanJan Crochet. It is beautiful. I happened to come across it online, and it is so pretty. Now I'm not one to really wear ponchos, but I thought, this is so pretty that maybe I would. So I'm gonna post a little picture here for that one too. And let me know your thoughts on those three projects. What do you think? What do you think I should make? Or do you have something else in mind, that some kind of a top, poncho, shawl, whatever it happens to be? I'm open to any ideas. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.